questions, I'll be walking around listening in.
You want to switch classes?
I'm gonna.
You're just gonna be all
What about it?
Oh, yeah. I'm not sitting there. If you want to switch classes.
We're talking about
Whitney, can I ask you for a favor today again?
what?
Can I ask you for a favor today?
Yeah.
When we get to the videos, do you mind if we plug in your laptop just so I can play them?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Let me
And
see. I might need to go get the other school laptop.
you might
Like,
need to get one.
the other laptop. I'll bring it on over. My laptop.
Yeah, oh, you have an extra laptop.
I have the school one, and I have a personal one. So
Okay,
I'll bring the
perfect.
school
Are you
one.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're good at it.
We teach them the colors. I mean, for younger grades, it's really great. Like, yeah, like as it grows more.
Like for the future, like step. I forgot to because it's like a problem solving acronym. Do you know?
What was the first? No.
Step.
Step. Is it come from a curriculum or
Yeah.
just what Carl created? What does it start with? Maybe I can.
It's like
Okay.
I think it's creating like calm and I think it's exploring possible outcomes.
It can be pretty abstract.
Okay.
Maybe plan
So it's like pleasantness
of the age. Like in the lesson, they often with guiding questions, oh, like somebody is not sharing, then I can, you can ask that. But I noticed that
One of my notes
in like their own in the classroom when they're doing they don't like oh I can just like this and like oh I want to take it after before
Yeah.
right
Like they're not internalizing it. So you find how are the topics chosen? Like when you do the first part, stating the problem of the topic.
like in the essay.
When you guys are doing the classroom together.
We do
And then, they come up with the topics right then.
the topic is
Yeah.
we should propose.
Oh, you're using like, is it second step? Okay, so it's not that the students are coming up with topics. You're just like general topics to problem solve from the group. Okay, got it. Yeah.
It's not easy together. Yeah, it's not
Yeah, they're not in a circle. Okay, yeah, so that's the big difference is that the topics in this process, they're all student driven. So ideally students have like a costume box and putting topics and drop the groups up. I think that helps the internalization because it's like their stuff, Not like second step doesn't have good lessons. Like if you realize there is conflict, you might pull a lesson from them or a strategy. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, this is my
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a situation where I theoretically do this.
That's why combine is so
At my school, there's a wide range of emotional skills and kids that have conflict often.
You have those two students who are entering
There's like this group of girls that have conflict with each other all the time. But they just don't like amongst themselves a lot. And then other groups are like, they rarely have conflict. Like, very tight. They never have conflict, but then when they do, it's like, what? It's like, they didn't have the skills to be able to manage that on their own. I noticed in my own life that when it's it probably was. All four of us. Yeah. They just didn't know how to like express it or solve it. All I'm thinking about is the crazy thing that happened yesterday. One of my kids basically, these two kids got into like a physical altercation. One of the kids' parents was there. She started tagging her kid off. Hit him again. No way. Is that crazy? What? And then this kid, this was after school. She was just there with her kid, like outside, and the other kid was at Boys and Girls Club. I know. Yeah, she's crazy. Like, and I don't say that lightly. Like, yeah. Like, from day one when I met her, I was like, yeah. But that was, no, I know. This was my reaction. I was like, what do I do? So, like, what happened? I reached out to admin because we've had issues with her before, and I know that if we go to her, she's not going to fix it. But was like, were anyone able to get the kid off of the other kids? No, she said hit him again. It was like they literally were shouldering each other, and then she told him hit him again, he did, and then apparently the other kid got scared and like ran away. Because his mom is egging mom to beat him up. Yeah, crazy. So I don't know. That's gonna be a question to ask. What do you do? Claire had a situation like that too. Really? Yes. And this was fall. It was like a multi-parent. There was drama because one of the parents was seeing like I think 2 different parents, and then there was drama amongst the parents, and then the parents told the kids, and then the kids were getting into fights, and the parents were egging on the kids at home and like telling them, dude, you have to tell. Where's Claire? One of my kids' parents was basically egging on to it. She says that happened. I was telling Sam about your story. Let's go. Like at least once a week. What? Yeah. Is this the same parent that was part of that 3-parent triangle? Yes, but not exclusively. So you just have a regular thing where like people get in a fight and you separate them and you talk to them individually. It's like, how can we solve this conflict in a better way? And it's like, no, my mom tells me if someone hits, I hit back. That's what I've learned. Like that is what the rules are in my house. See, in my situation, she was there. So and that hit her, and she goes, "Oh, do it again, do it again," and he did. No, ours was at home. Like these 2 moms were fighting over a man. Crazy. And so they're like telling their kids, like, "Oh, we don't like us." Yeah. And so they, the one family, like they waited for them to get to school at the game. Yeah. Yo! It was a planned attack. And now it's your problem. Like what? Their mom loves me. Is your admin dealing with that or what? Not well. Yeah, I'm concerned my admin is not going to go very well. Honestly, Principal Carter's solution thus far has pretty much been like loosely suggest to families maybe they'd be happier somewhere else and hope they leave. And now we're losing a teacher because her enrollment has dropped so much because she keeps being like, wouldn't you be happier in your neighborhood school? In one class, there's 6 kids who have left since the beginning of the year. 6? I mean, in admin. Is it the teacher though, or is it like the principal in their ear saying, maybe you'd be happy? Yeah. If it's gotten to the point where the admin is suggesting you leave, then that would mean to me that the teacher has completely to a certain degree. I mean, it was like, there were like probably 2 different kids who were like actively making it just like a not chill situation. And then there's the kids who like go along with that. And like probably would have been fine. Oh my god, yours is pink. Yes. My grandma and I was having more times yeah, because I support this song. I wish they had more colors. I heard that all the pink colors have been. Yeah, okay, can I touch yours? Now these 2 things are fine. No, I feel like this is like firmer, less firm. I feel like mine is more firm. Yeah, but that's what people got. That's fair before I warm it up. Like this is much looser. I've been working on this bad boy. Is it your capybara one? Yeah. It might be dirty. I brought this today because I knew I. Oh my gosh, it's like glitter one. Yeah. Yes. Because it's cracking at the bottom, but we don't have to. Don't squeeze too hard. It happened once, and I was like, "Where did this come from?" That's really funny. Wait, so you can? I literally carry them around whenever I'm teaching. Oh my gosh, I see the capybara. Yes. His name is Earl.
I've heard of that.
Alright, we're gonna come back together in like 5 seconds. Okay, perfect. Alright, waterfall. So let's share out what came up in your discussions around these questions and other things that came up. Who'd like to get us started? And then of course, if you're having bigger questions or wonderings, please feel free to bring them up. But what's on your mind around what you were asked to discuss? Yeah. Oh, okay. Please.
I guess for me, for number 3, the benefits of classroom meetings. I'll say the experience of like my classroom meetings, and then I got to observe one morning Mackenzie's classroom meeting. Excuse me. So we're both in 2nd grade. We both have the same kind of crazy schedule. They have only like 20 minutes from the time the bell rings and they walk in to go to specials, right? And so our classroom meeting, like the kids have to do a bunch of steps first. They have to, put their coats away and stuff. But then they also have to open up their math book to the page we're going to work on later, whatever, right? So it takes them kind of a while to get to the rug. And then there's a question on the board, like, would you rather live in a treehouse or an ice castle, right? And then they share how they're feeling, and we have the little feeling, the quadrants, red, green, yellow, blue. And then they say their would you rather answer and why, and there's like 7 stems up there, so that's good scaffolding. But then the second time around, my mentor teacher pulls popsicle sticks and they'll say, oh, so-and-so, what did you hear from so-and-so? And if they don't remember, he like keeps score, like student points versus teacher points. And like when I was lead teaching, there were times when, even though I really was trying to pay attention, like if something else is going on or whatever, like it is hard to remember. And it's like the first thing we do in the morning. I don't know. And I don't think that it has we're 104 days into the school year. And I don't think that sharing, oh, I'm in the green because I had a good sleep is helpful at all. And then going around a second time is just like a waste of time.
Sorry, just to clarify, the second time is it more for the teacher to check if people are listening?
Yeah. He's like,
there's no like
accountability measure.
Okay, there's no like
kids have
discussion.
a reason to listen.
And is it working?
No.
I
Wait,
mean,
so-
literally
Yeah.
everything you're saying, check.
And then Mackenzie's classroom, they have the same amount of time.
Yeah, what school is this?
Olympic Hills.
Oh, wait, what classrooms are these? I'm not gonna, I know 2nd grade team. Who
2nd grade?
who is it?
I'll just say we're in 2nd grade.
I know, but it's not, your classroom isn't doing that?
No.
Okay. Alright, so.
And then Mackenzie's classroom, they do, second step, they do explicit, like, problem solving skills, and they do these little stretches. I was only there once, so I don't remember exactly, but they do little stretches, like, while they hear the vocabulary words, so they're, like, waking up their minds and their bodies, and then they kind of popcorn out their ideas if they want to answer the
That
question.
feels better, you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll definitely, I'll definitely look up your mentor, but you'll have to tell me. I'm not gonna go to your mentor, but I'm just so curious. Okay, so the thing is that it's exactly what you said, which we did talk about like 2 classes ago. The would you rather questions we're in like end of February, which is really hard to believe. This is so hard for me. It's stressing me out that the year's going by so fast already. But what you're doing is literally building block 1.
I know.
And that's a great way to start the year because would you rather, it's accessible, it's easy prompting, it encourages more participation, it's light, it's fun. I start to hear, oh, we have similar answers. Like you start to form like little connections. It's like super sweet and cute for the beginning. But can you imagine doing that every meeting, every day? Like it just loses like its momentum. So that's what we're trying to talk about today is deepening that. So you're totally right on that. The other thing is 100%, like the teacher-student points, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, especially like how many of you have already like lost focus and there's no judgment in like the first 18 minutes of class. Like what you're saying is, I didn't need hands up, okay. But like what you're saying is like we all lose focus so quickly, like we get distracted or right? So, and especially for kids first thing in the morning. So totally agree. So, and then the other thing is that mood meter thing. It really is hard for me to see the full benefit of it. It depends how it's implemented.
Yeah.
But the way you're describing it is what I've seen when I've gone into schools and just walking around, just going in a circle and saying I'm in the green because of this or I'm in the yellow. Every single day, like at some point it's like, okay, like what are we doing with these feelings? Like to me, it would be better if like 3 people maybe got to share and then other kids could ask questions or offer like maybe advice if they're having a bad day. Like, oh, I can relate to that. Like, what about, maybe you can try this today. Like, it just has to go deeper than just like, it becomes, it just becomes like a very robotic structure. And if you as the teacher do not buy into meetings, and if it's like a chore to you, because that sounds like a chore to do as a teacher every day, then that's the energy that the students pick up on them. They're not gonna buy into it. So really, I'm glad you brought that up because those are all such good points of why the way SEL is being done right now in a lot of classrooms, it's not as effective. Also, is anyone getting pulled out in those first 20 minutes?
I have one student, yeah.
So I think I mentioned this, you don't want to have SEL time when kids are getting pulled out. So of course, that first 20 minutes, that's common for kids to get pulled out for interventions. I would find a different 20-minute block to do classroom meetings because the whole purpose is that everyone's in that meeting together. If you're the student that's always getting pulled out, it's just, you're not part of that community. It's really important community building there.
For like sped teachers, I feel like we usually like do like our groups while like the students in their gen ed room are like doing like, the same content. Like we do pull when they're doing like their SEL
Their
time.
SEL, yeah.
Like how do you balance, because I don't want them to miss
Of
like
course. You don't want to like,
science and stuff.
I know.
I
want
don't teach.
Yeah.
So like when are you supposed to
Yeah.
have social groups?
Totally. That's like a bigger question, for the scheduling of the school. I mean, it would be great if like you could ideally push in for like a couple minutes of the meeting and maybe then you take them out, like even something like that. But that's
in like different classrooms.
totally. So there is like a scheduling thing there. So I guess if like there's no way to avoid that, then like as a sped teacher, I would try to do a little bit of classroom meeting too.
Okay.
Like maybe like a 3-minute, that would be how you start for like the first 3 minutes before you go into your social skills lesson.
Okay.
So that they're still getting that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
One day when we were doing NCL with my little small group, one baby said that she was in the blue. So I asked her, I said, so what can we do to help you get out of the blue? And another student said, well, we can all breathe. So we started.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. Yeah.
And she did say she felt better.
So that's that's exactly like the deepening of it, like doing something more with those shares than just sharing.
Yeah.
Like in September, yeah, of course, just sharing, like I get it, like kids are not comfortable yet. I mean, there's also pushback on the ruler or the mood meter. Like some people will argue that it's not very culturally responsive and having kids share emotions and feelings because based on different cultures, that's just not a natural thing. So if I'm home, like I think it's important, of course, to teach feelings and express yourself. We just don't want to do things like in this like very scripted way. That's also the challenge with second step. Second step is really not classroom meetings. Second step has great lessons. Like if your class is having trouble resolving conflicts, I would pull a second step lesson. You have that like a clear plan of how to teach in. But remember, classroom meetings, the curriculum comes from the students. It's their topics. The topics are not coming from second step. This is not a scripted, you can't buy any book out there that's gonna say, these are the lessons you should do every day for classroom meetings. Because the lessons are the students. They have a classroom meeting box, they're putting in things that they want to talk about throughout the week, drawing pictures, writing, it could be anonymous or not. You as the teacher are pulling topics out, and that is what you're using to have those discussions. The buy-in is so much higher because it's students' topics. It's not some curriculum telling them what we're gonna talk about. Does that make sense? But if the students are having trouble with teasing and tattling, yeah, maybe you'll pull a scripted curriculum or lesson plan to help you with problem solve that. But the topics are the students. That's like the biggest thing. And you'll see a couple of videos of that in a minute. But other wondering thoughts about meetings?
I
Yeah.
have a question about what you just said.
Yeah.
The topics should come from the students, and so if as a teacher I'm noticing, oh, we're having trouble differentiating between big problems and
Yeah.
little problems, can I
1,000%.
just go ahead and pull that, or do I need to wait for
No,
a student to
no.
bring it up?
Great point. No,
Okay.
no, and you'll see it's teacher. So topics are either chosen by the students most of the time, and also from the teacher.
Okay.
If you're observing a problem in the class that's ongoing, you're gonna be like, today we're talking about this, but it's still about that. It's like very relevant. It's what's literally happening in that space already. You know what I mean? So in building block 4, you establish the system, and most people do a classroom meeting box. That's what I did. It's anonymous, you know, it's just, and then they just drop notes throughout the week, and then you poll. And then this is where you spend time actually trying to explicitly teach problem solving. Here's how we share, like bugs and wishes. It bugs me when Yelena cuts me in line. I wish Yelena wouldn't come in line. I have an up about this. My down is this. I am frustrated at Yelena. Okay, and I have the words and language and how to express that, but not in like a mean way. So you gotta teach into that too. This is where those scripted second step lessons are helpful because they have lessons on this. So you gotta do these 5 building blocks, and then you can start doing problem solving meetings. You just can't start problem solving meetings from day one because that structure is not there.
Do you ever have the like, when you're in the like cheesy questions part of it?
Yeah.
You know, the first step. Do you ever like have kids think of the cheesy questions?
Definitely, you like
And
come
then
up
you're
with
like
it.
building that in while it's still
Yeah,
safe?
you can definitely do that. And I gotta tell you these cheesy questions because I'm doing classroom meetings right now at a high school, specialized high school, and I just interviewed like the different high school students because high school is really hard. It's like pulling teeth. It's like elementary and middle school a little bit. I mean, elementary is way easier. They're just more open. High school is like, oh my gosh. So I was like asking for feedback on meetings. Like everything I'm teaching is what I'm doing with them. Like, and we've been doing appreciations. And we were doing a lot of group activity, like fun questions, and like we kind of moved away from that to get more into problem solving. And I'm not kidding, 9 out of 10 people are like, oh, I really want the group activities again. We want it, like we want the fun, like light. So, but they're saying at the high school level, they feel like that breaks the ice, and then they can get more serious because, you know, it's not like they're together all day like elementary. It's like a different type of community. So you do, you know, but anytime I think some of these things, like who's gonna wanna do compliments? They love compliments at the high school level. It's like the things we think are cheesy or very elementary, everyone actually appreciates it. So it's really interesting. But yeah, a lot of teachers do that, what you're saying. They'll have kids come up with questions of the day or the week. But again, that's just not what you wanna do all year long. Last plug, but if you are going to do morning meetings, which if you're all elementary, you're going to have a morning meeting, the best curriculum, I will stack my thing on is response to classroom's morning meeting. We start with the greeting, you go into share. So greeting is like, in the beginning of the year, it's really common just like going around, like shaking hands and like greeting each other. And then the book differentiates, like here's some greetings for the middle of the year for kindergarten. These are some good ones for 5th, 6th grade. So like in my class, eventually we got to ball tossing, like you toss the ball. That was a greeting that the kids love that one. So you do greeting, share, 2 to 3 people get to share anything on their mind. And then they say, I'm ready for questions or comments. And then other students then they call on other students to ask them a question or comment about their share. So if I said, I am sad today because we took our dog to the vet, and then Sasha's like, oh, I can relate to that, we took my dog to the vet, and they'd be like, no, Sasha, this is about Yelena, so we're just asking Yelena about the share. So it's supposed to be really centered on the student and what they're sharing. And then you do a fun group activity, which is like 3 to 5, that didn't happen, did it, Sasha?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
My dog's
sorry.
fine.
Okay,
It's fine.
that's so sorry. Very ironic.
I know.
I did not know that. Okay, and then you took a fun group activity, like 3 to 5 minutes. It's more energized, and then you bring them back down with news announcements, which is basically going over the schedule for the day. 15 to 20 minutes. That's literally, you can do that every single day, and it's the best way to just set the tone and build community. But it's not problem solving. It's a different purpose. Yeah.
If you only had 5 minutes for a classroom meeting, and
Okay.
the class was maybe 5 students big,
For like a morning meeting.
yeah,
What
what
would you
would you do?
Okay.
Hypothetically,
So no, we're not talking about problem solving. We're talking about like a morning meeting ritual every morning.
trying to get up this ladder,
So just the building blocks.
just the building blocks.
Okay, I would do.
What would you cut?
I would start greeting because it's the first thing in the morning.
No, it's maybe 10:15, just to put a random. It's exactly 10:15.
Okay, but
You're outside on the
have
playground,
they
nobody
seen
else
each
out
other
there.
already?
They have.
Okay, so then I would do maybe like a fun like question,
Mm-hmm.
do a shout out, and then that would be your 5 minutes. Yeah. Any other things that came up from the reading and discussion in your groups? Yes.
I'm starting to notice in 4th grade at least
Yeah.
that a few of our boys and some of our girls are trying to now solve their conflicts physically more regularly.
Yeah.
With, physical threats. How can you go about managing that? Something that I know is very normal with 9 and 10-year-olds,
Yeah.
especially boys, since I have
Totally.
2 boys. So, and they went through the same phase.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How to navigate that
Yeah.
as a teacher in the best way.
So I would do a problem solving meeting, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, and I would gather them together, and so you would be setting the tone. So today, what I want to talk about is something that I've been noticing, and I've talked to some of you probably individually. We talked about a little bit, but it's still happening, and there's been a lot of physical aggression, however you want to frame it, in the class, and I'm noticing that it's impacting people's ability to perform in class, but also it's making a lot of people feel uncomfortable, including me. So today, I want us to go around and really talk about what are we noticing about some of the physical stuff going on, and like why is it happening, and then what can we do about it. And then and then that's the biggest step, is you're inviting them in, and then kids share experiences around it, and then after that, then you say, okay, so what can we do about this? So whenever there's like that kind of thing, the best thing is bring it back to the class and let them help you problem solve it, because they usually actually have the best ways to go about it, even though they're not, in the mindset in the moment to do this. They actually know what's right and wrong. And then you probably set up some kind of monitoring system that you're going to be checking in, and like circling back. And what I tell everyone when I train classroom meetings, it's not just one discussion, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many meetings I've had where kids are crying, tearing up. You feel like we've solved this problem. Like everyone's apologizing, they're owning it. I'm like, we're done, we're good. and literally the next day it happens all over again. Because it's like consistency and it's like repetition is what's important. Okay, you gotta, someone had a, yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm running into issues where when physical conflicts are coming up and we are addressing it and having that conversation, the school rules and values conflict with students' home rules and values.
Yeah.
And students are taught at home, if somebody comes at me physically,
Yeah.
I hit back.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is how we handle that situation.
Yeah.
And that is what mom tells me before I get here in the
Yeah.
morning. And I don't, other than saying, well, here at school we handle it this way, which
Sure.
doesn't land.
Yeah.
I don't know how to address that tension.
Well, so the first question is this like a lot of students are impacted by this? So, I mean, you have to have this, first of all, there should be no physical contact. It's like inappropriate, right? So like regardless of school or home rules, no one should even be starting it for anyone else to have to respond and defend themselves. You know what I mean? So we gotta like nip the initial step ahead of time. So all behavior is a form of communication. So I'm wondering, like the students that are starting the physical aggression, is it like social skills? Is it because what are they triggered by? Why are they on defense mode? What are you thinking?
I mean, I think it depends on the kid, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like, oh, there are these 3 students who start fights and they need help. Like, I think
It
it is a lot
It's
of,
like a community thing. So the community needs to come together and recognize that, like, when we're upset or frustrated or whatever is going on, that's definitely not the first step. So it's almost like doing a lesson, like, when is it appropriate in life to use physical aggression, right? Like, if you're, like, obviously getting attacked, you know, as self-defense. Is this you have to like teach into this. Like they obviously are not able to discriminate or discern these things.
Right. But I just like, according to like school rules, we're
Yeah.
supposed to say no self-defense either. You know,
Well,
like,
I'm talking about more like outside of school self-defense. But yeah,
Yeah.
fine, and don't bring that part up. But I can't, like, what you can't push back on, like, that's the school. I don't know what to say for the school. The biggest issue is I'm hearing there's a lot of students that are involved in this. It'd be much easier if it was just like a couple kids, right? And they obviously don't understand how to express their frustration or aggression. So that's what you're teaching into. And like, that's what, you know, you have to like help them like understand this is just not the way we do it here. Why? What are the consequences when you do this in school versus like at home? There's different consequences, you know? So it's like, it's explicitly teaching into that, yeah.
Another thing that has helped with certain kids in my class is talking about how do you feel after a physical altercation? Like, do you feel good? Do you feel like it actually solved the problem, or are you still upset? And then like, what can we do to actually help you move on? And it's like focusing on like, oh, like this isn't actually helpful. Maybe like reflecting on how it affects them and then moving on from there. I don't know if that's helpful.
Okay. So I already addressed, so the big thing I just want to emphasize again, a classroom meeting has to be in a circle. If it's not in a circle, it doesn't qualify as a classroom meeting. And those are the building blocks we talked about last time. So I'm gonna keep going. So this is the problem-solving framework. And you can use this framework, or you could really use any framework. You just want to use the same process every time for consistency. But this problem-solving framework is, you start the note on a positive, you start the meeting on a positive note, and then you also want to end on a positive note. So one way to start the meeting is those appreciation circles, which we talked about last time, which are compliments, gratitude, or aha moments. And that doesn't mean that everyone would get to go around. You might only get 5 students every meeting, depending on time, but that's how you start the meeting. Unless you have a different time of the week that you do compliments or appreciation circles. So like in my class, we did classroom meeting, you know, like the morning meeting thing in the mornings, On Thursdays, in the afternoons, we did compliments, and then one day a week we did problem solving. That's what we did. Not everyone might have that extra flexibility, so you can start your meeting with that.
Just what came up, you're doing this at the same time, so like your compliment circles replacing a morning meeting?
It would be,
In that
yeah,
example
it
that you
would,
did?
your morning meeting is still happening. So it's like, if I do morning meeting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
I would pick ideally one other time in the week for problem solving. A lot of people usually pick like maybe on a Wednesday after lunch or after recess. But if you don't have that time, you can take one of your morning meetings and make that a problem solving meeting. And compliment circles, some people do them completely separately, and that could still keep happening. But if you don't have that ability, you could add it to the problem solving. Check-ins is optional, just like last time we talked about physical aggression, and we came up with this plan. How's it going? Like you're just checking in, but you might not have a check-in. Here is the setting meeting focus. Either the students set the focus of the meeting or you set the focus. And the most important part is you give students a chance to talk. I see a lot of people rush to problems. Oh, here's our topic. How are we gonna solve it? You don't wanna rush to problem solving. In fact, the question you ask the student when they bring up a topic is, do you want help fixing this problem? Or do you wanna talk about it without fixing? I might bring up a topic and I actually might not even want solutions. I just want to talk about it and have others talk about it. Or I might want help solving it. But you want to make sure they have time to really talk. This is like the heart of it. If it's applicable, you problem solve. If I, the teacher, brought up a problem, then the whole class comes up with solutions. If I, Yelena, brought up a problem, I will call on other students to give me solutions, and then I pick the one that feels the best for me. And the best thing with problem solving, you'll see in a minute, is to have students role play it out. It's a great way for it to really internalize. And then you close the meeting, you could go back to appreciation circle, you could do like a 2-minute like group activity, like that's like fun, or you could just state positives about what you noticed about the meeting that went really well. This whole process, kindergarten, first grade would be about 10 minutes, maybe 15. Everyone else is 15 to 20. In 5th grade, 4th grade, this could be like a whole period block if you needed it. They have the stamina for that. So we're gonna watch a couple of videos that demonstrate this. But before we do that, are there questions on this? Yes.
Okay, so in my personal life, I don't love circles. This is not my thing.
Yeah.
But in my school life, I really do like the circles, and I enjoy them, and I feel like I see the benefit, and
Yeah.
I do see the benefits in the big picture. But like, because we do them 4 to 5 mornings a week, and they do get a little monotonous or whatever, what is the benefit of always having them in one big circle as opposed to 1 or 2 mornings a week, putting them up into small groups based off an interest or based off something
Yeah,
they can
I love that.
speak in, with more depth or something?
So the morning meetings you all are doing every day, those are like what kind of morning meetings? Like getting to know you, are they problem solving?
So 2 days a week we do problem solving, and then the other 2 it's like a compliment, would you rather,
Yeah,
like
okay,
that
yeah.
kind of
I mean, it sounds great, but you feel like the kids are not all losing stamina for it?
Right, because it's not a lot. There's 22 of us.
Yeah.
And they're kids, so it's like
Yeah.
that's a long time to be sitting
I think
to hear
that's
22 opinions.
I think that's totally fine.
Okay.
And then if you pull them, if you decide like, oh, I want to do like the small groups once a week or whatever it is, see how you can like bring like it back, like maybe they all share out at the end, like you kind of bring, connect them back, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So split them up and then bring them back
Yeah,
together.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Ideally, I would be trying to do 3 morning meetings, but if like the responsive classroom, like real community building.
Mm-hmm.
And then you only really need 1 day a week for problem solving. I mean, 2 days can definitely benefit, like if it's maybe the beginning, end of the week. I mean, I know the kids always have topics they need to, they might want to problem solve, but you don't always need, So that would give you room to do what your other thing you're saying.
Okay, cool.
Definitely. I would just have it the same routine. Like that means every Thursday. You know, like it's not just having a very set schedule. Like that structure is so important. Dee Dee, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say what you said about kindergarten because we do morning meetings every day.
Yeah.
That's
how you start.
We unpack, we do our morning song, and we sit down and we do morning message, and we check in. Like every day is something different. So like Wednesday night, like Monday, we might say, what's something you did by yourself over the weekend, or how are you feeling? And we use the chart. Sometimes I may take them off the wall and say, so happy, sad. I'll be like, oh, I'm sad. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. You know,
So cute. But yeah, that's great. But still, I would want to do one problem solving meeting. I'm volunteering in my son's kindergarten class, like once a week, doing like small reading groups, which is like, I love reading. So like, I'm just very excited I got this job. But it's so funny because I love the teacher, Miss Nogales. Like she's like a true warm demander. She's like really firm, very caring. She's great. Very like kind of like more old school traditional. And the irony is I actually really like it because she like has clear routines, you know, like kids are not walking all over her. But today they had their little morning meeting and she was telling the class, if you continue to hit like this, so the physical aggression too, then you're, instead of choice time, you're gonna be watching a video on how to keep your body. So I just said like 3 times. So I mean, it's really like a threat, right? Now, I don't feel like it was mean by any means, but like my whole point is like, that's a problem solving meeting right there. Instead of us saying, if you do this, then you're gonna have to miss choice time because you're gonna get to watch this like boring video. I would have a true problem solving meeting and say, this is what's happening, why is this happening, and why is this not okay? That has longer results than a student being like kind of threatened, and I don't mean threatened, like she's not really threatening them, but you know, like watching like a video, it might not really change behavior over time, right? So what we're trying to do is like change behavior over time. So it's like in kindergarten, they also benefit from problem solving because they have a lot that they're navigating, especially when they leave the classroom and go outside of recess. Oh, yes.
So this is a different question, but like when you're having these morning meetings, do you have any strategies for like if certain students are like dominating the conversation or always getting, I don't know, like in morning meetings in our class, like we hear a lot of the same voices and we try to create space for other people, but sometimes they don't want to participate. So I don't know, is there any advice for like?
I mean, you could have a norm, like if you spoke once, then you have to call on someone else that hasn't spoken when you want to go again. If there's students that just don't have a really hard time sharing, I would ask them ahead of time, like, here's what we're doing today, here's the prompt, you want to just say the prompt, like, you know, give them something. You could, or you know, you could just, have the norm or say today, we're, you know, our goal is that we hear from everyone. The talking piece is really helpful for that. You know, like we're gonna pass the talking piece around, make sure everyone gets a turn, you know, all of that. And it's okay to cut students off and say, Matthew, I'm gonna have to stop you, I'm so sorry, I know you have so much to say, but I'm noticing time, I'm noticing that there's a few other people that haven't gotten a chance yet. I mean, as long as you're kind about it, you know, it's okay. Some kids do need to be kind of cut off. Right? Like, I'm sure some of you were that kid, right? Maybe. I mean, who knows? I don't know. Like, we all, you know, or kids get excited, you know, so it's okay to do all those things, you know? Yeah. It's important. Like, I'm noticing this is happening, so then you gotta, like, do something, you know? So that's that's a common thing that happens, of course. Any other comments or questions before I play this video? Yeah.
Is anyone doing like good regular problem solving meetings in here?
Anyone doing good problem solving meetings?
I mean, pretty regularly, yeah. I mean, that we incorporate it into like SEL, you know, as far as like, yeah.
Can you tell us about one of them? How it went? Not to put you on the spot if it's not. But...
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I'll have like a slide prompt and we'll start off on a positive note and then, I'm trying to think of like a recent one that we did, how about this? Let me send you the notes that I had from doing it. I'll do that, okay?
Well, what's your structure? Or I'm not putting your mentor structure for doing it. Like, what's the process? How do you guys start problem solving? What does it look like?
Well, she'll do like, she does slides for everything, so there's always like a visual on the board, and so it'll start off, and maybe I'm not even thinking that this is the same thing, so tell me if it's not what you're teaching about, Elena, but like,
Yeah.
she'll start with something positive, and then if we're talking about how to tell somebody that, okay, like a bugs and wishes type stuff.
Yeah.
Like she'll give them prompts of stuff to say, and then we'll kind of, the kids will take turns like in a turning talk. Like, okay, now first one of you will start by saying what bothers you, and then the other one. So it's like the role playing. So we'll do the role playing for a little while, and then we come back together as a group, and she's like, okay, so you tell me what they did, and so then they kind of have to explain what each other said and like the strategies each other used, so it's not just all about like themselves.
So it's based on like the bugs and wishes that they're
Yes.
having, but everyone's involved in problem solving.
Yes.
I think that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
great. You're gonna see a little bit different, but I think that's great too.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm using a different computer so I can play videos because you can't do it on the Mac. So just turn and talk for a couple more minutes, and then we'll watch the video, and then we'll take our a break and we'll watch.
I'm imagining like just like yeah. Yeah, this one is I'll get it again. I'm gonna oh yeah, yeah. It's like but then you combine them. We don't make them on other fields. How would you combine it into your 20? Then you can go
But yeah, without like the celebrity pictures.
Yeah, don't ignore the. This is for my own entertainment.
I did like, man, I thought that was my day test. And I was like, what?
Yeah, you've never tried it.
But
You've never taken this.
Well, why does it look like that?
Well, you see if you get Brittany.
That answer whether or not I can get.
Honestly, how many their characters can you name somewhat accurate animation?
That's why I was confused.
It's gonna give me a virus. It's on my work laptop. Yeah, on SPF1.
Thank you.
Is the MI3 test for the football players,
Yeah.
like the NFL?
Yeah, it's NFL. Hockey. Well, it's just a bunch of football players.
I mean, that
True.
Okay, so we're gonna watch a first grade class.
That's nice.
This class is like pretty exceptional. It was a really unique class. It's a small class. I mean, there's some kids absent, but it's generally a small class. The teacher would literally come in, and the kids would come in and unpack, and they would literally as soon as they unpack, they would form a circle and start reading. The teacher wasn't even in the circle. She'd be taking attendance or maybe talking to the kid. They were so self-sufficient. It was like kind of like not normal, you know, like that doesn't happen a lot. But just so you know, it gives you a little bit of context for this class. But you're gonna watch them do classroom meeting, problem solving. It's all gonna be a little bit different than the framework I'm introducing, because people adapt things, you know, that fit their class. I think the volume should be okay with the
What's this one? I feel sunny because I'm almost at the end of my swimming lessons and we can jump in the pool. I feel sunny because tomorrow is the first day of February. I feel Sonny because my mom and I bought a matching set of pink for me. Aloha, Ellie. Aloha, I feel really sunny because yesterday I got a note from the CAP for a superstar, and for that, my dad took me before team pictures from the basketball game. He bought me 2 shirts.
So this is like their opening, how they set the tone for the meeting. They do greeting, then they go over.
Everyone in your class should be in a circle. Hands and laps, eyes watching, ears listening, connections, empathy, sympathy. Voices quiet unless you have a talking stick or called on as a teacher or student leader. Talking with a good, strong voice.
And then they do a breathing activity. So this is all that first little step of setting the tone for the meeting. Remember I said,
our classroom is a place where we all don't have to be the same. We don't all have to do the same. We don't all have to act the same. We don't all have to talk the same. We don't all have to dress the same. We have the right to be ourselves. We like that people are different. We know that our differences make us interesting and unique. We honor different ways of being, acting, and believing, even when we don't agree with them. We do our best to solve problems peacefully. We speak up if we see others being treated unfairly. We treat each other the way we like to be treated. We treat each other with respect.
Deep breath. Let it go all the way down to your toes. Okay.
so I just want to say that's their, like, this is the benefit of structure and consistency. They recite that every morning. That's going to internalize. A mantra, a mission statement, the values and what are the values and beliefs that you're trying to create in your classroom community. It's not enough for you just to want it and dream it. How are you instilling it and explicitly teaching it? You create it together and you recite it every day. It's their pledge. It really starts to stick. So these are the management things you're doing every day to have an impact on that community that you're trying to create. And when physical aggression or these things happen, you say, that is not what we all agreed upon. So we need to come together and talk about that. That student that's sitting, that was one of the first times he joined the classroom meeting. He normally would sit at his desk, and when they did greeting, they would still greet him, but there was a lot going on with him. So again, like, he's at the meeting, I don't care if he's sitting on the floor, right? Like, it's like, who cares as they're at the meeting? That's huge.
Slowly. This time I want you to take a deep breath and let it out. Okay. Keep your eyes closed as you think about what kind of student you want to be today. Think about how you're going to be a bucket filler. Think about respectful and responsible actions you're going to do, not only for Miss Cedarby, but for your friends in the classroom, for your friends out at recess, for the teachers that care and love you every single day.
And parents.
Yes, I'm so sorry I forgot parents. And parents as well. Your extended family around the community. Please think about what kinds of words and actions and thoughts are you going to use? What kind of ways are you going to show grit today? Whether it's with reading or math. Are we going to give up on things today? No. We're going to have a grit mentality. That means we're not going to give up. If something is new, we're going to think that that's a new opportunity to learn. Okay? Take one more deep breath, please. Think of a peaceful, happy place. Okay? And let it out. Remember, you can do it. We believe in you. We care about you.
It bugs me when people bully other people, and I wish that they could stop.
So Anna is the, Anna is the student leader for the week, and she chose a bug and wish. She just ironically chose her bug and wish. So she's now gonna do it, but if she chose someone like, someone else's Bugging Wish, they would be the ones to read it. It's just the irony is she's the facilitator and she just picked her own Bugging Wish. She's talking about a student with bullying, but that student is not in this class. He's in another first grade class, just for context.
How do you know?
How do I what?
Know all the context of it?
Because I went to their class every week and I helped teach classroom meetings. So that's how I get it.
Elena, can we turn it down just a tiny little bit?
Yeah, I think, is this working when I turn
Yes.
this on?
Yeah.
Okay, it is. Yes, for sure.
Just a tiny little bit, Lars?
Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay, tell me what this sounds like.
Something like really hard boy. What's his name? Alex. Oh, he's so good. Yeah. So I was trying to.
So let's have one more person that has a question or a comment.
Someone who is being quiet and who is respectfully following directions.
Okay, I see lots of quiet hands, Miss Anna, and respectful hands.
It's hard to pick one.
It's always hard to pick one with so many lovely children. That are being so respectful.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. And that means everything.
Terrence Bugs bullying. He is telling lies to me. He's telling me lies.
So it looks like Audrey can connect with that. Audrey, would you like to make a comment about that?
So Dunks lied when he said that I wasn't gonna do anything wrong, and once he almost grabbed the ball and almost hit a person in the face with the ball.
Not okay, is it? I'm so sorry that happened.
Real. You could say stop. I don't like that. Okay. I'll tell you my buddy. Dana. You can say, that is dipping my bucket. I don't like when you lie to me. That's a good one. Okay, good one. You could say, well, that's dipping my bucket. Then, one day you're gonna hurt somebody. Okay, good one.
Okay, so many great ones. I agree. So let's have our hands down. And now I want you to think, Anna, which strategy would you like for us to demonstrate and do a role play?
Isabella.
Isabella's?
If there doesn't work, I'll try to do it.
Okay, so let's have Isabella come on up. And Isabella is going to pretend that she is the student. Okay? And Anna, you're going to practice using that strategy. Okay? Alright. So go ahead, Isabella, you're kind of running around and then you're going to do the action that our friend was using. Okay? Oh, great, running around at recess time. Okay. Oh. And was that a hit or a high five? Okay. Now, so what would you say, Miss Anna? And use your strong voice. Okay? Remember your whole, oh, good strong stance, yes. Miss Cedargreen taught the strong stance. Okay? Okay, legs are apart.
Please don't do that. It's the law of the whole world.
Okay, you have to tell her what, or tell the friend what they were doing that you didn't appreciate.
I don't appreciate you hitting me because that's hurting my body. and I don't like it.
What would you like for him to do instead, or her to do instead?
For him to be respectful to other people.
Can you say, I would like you to be respectful to other people?
I would like you to be respectful to other people.
Can you say thank you for listening to my words?
Thank you for listening to my words.
Very nice. Can we do?
Okay, this one is from Friday. Do you want me to read it to you or you should read it? I can read it. Okay. Thank you for helping me read the girl to live on you? Yeah. I'm gonna read that.
See, he got a shout out. Isn't that so great? It all works out.
I want to tell you about what I said. Yes, I will be your BFF. This is from Jana this summer. Dear singer, I want to feel your book by saying, can you be my dear?
Hope Dempsey to the front office, please. Hope Dempsey to the front office.
That says my name, so I guess I'll read it. So, dear Honor, wonderfully about you like saying will you have a play day?
Mystery. We're giving mystery sample.
Alright, turn to Tom. What are your thoughts about that?
No. He, they, maybe?
Nope.
I get too stressed out. Don't have much time left. Like,
That happened to me one time.
I think it's because a lot of us did somebody show that we have to bring back that. But we don't actually if you're
And then my teacher
that makes sense. I think that's a big thing now. I agree.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then all my friends, everyone was upset at me.
Yeah, my. I think it would be helpful.
Because then I had to talk to boy and she apologized to him for thinking that he's not.
I feel like there's a lot. When I see a classroom like that, it's kind of hard because I know there's so much that's taught and like told them like direct instruction into like how to do all of this that you like don't see.
So it became just a
And it feels a little bit like.
I know that you exactly. There is so much you can't.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this is like February.
I just gotta like it just makes me think of like where I might like start point is like and then like
Do you do it every
class
day?
manager, like everything we talk about is
if you were the one who was like, how do you
So it's almost like, this is what's going on in the classroom today.
That's exactly what you
This
have to
week.
teach. We're actually yeah, there will be another video that will touch upon that. Let's circle back to that after that video. Yeah, very good point. Definitely. Of course, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Little circle?
And
No.
so like, yeah, you have to, we'll talk about that in the next video. Alright, let's come back together. Waterfall. Let's just share out really fast and then we'll take a break. So what thoughts, wondering, this was like February, March timeframe, right?
We talked a lot about like the student's name being said.
Yeah,
and,
great
like,
question. Yeah.
What that is
Yeah.
like should the name have been
Yeah.
said, and
Yeah.
especially if the student's in the class, how does that change things?
Yes. The big question everyone always brings up. We're gonna see another video where you see names of kids in the class being said. I'm a big proponent of saying kids' names, but you have to do it when the community is strong. Like, you know, like, you first, so you, the community's strong, like, there's strong relationships, and all of that has to be taught into. So if someone says my name, as a teacher, I would say, Yelena, are you taking that in, what was just said? And teaching students, like, you might not agree with how someone's feeling, but we can't tell someone how we made them feel. We don't have to agree, our job is just to take it in. That's part of it. The other thing is that sometimes kids don't realize the impact they're having on others until their name is said. Like people, sometimes we really don't know. We think like we're being silly or we don't think it's a big deal because maybe that wouldn't affect us. But the rule that we had in my class was anyone's name said in a negative way 3 times, you can't use their name again. So it wasn't about like, oh, we're gonna only talk about this one student the whole class. But it is pretty impactful when a student's name is said and you are facilitating how they take that in and you're facilitating all that. But that's up to everyone's comfort level, and if you don't feel comfortable, students can just say, it bothers me when some people in this class do this. You can make it more general.
But for like in this instance, like the student wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so they can't take it in. So
No.
what's the benefit then of like naming the name?
Oh, well, because it's been a recurring issue. I would go talk to the teacher after.
But like for the teacher to know, but for the other student?
Yeah, it all depends, like, is this a continuous thing? Like, with, obviously this kid Bronx, I think it was a continuous thing that maybe affecting other kids. Maybe Bronx, you know, it would be more like a sit down with them, you know. I don't think, how do I say this? Whether we say a kid's name or not, everyone knows who we're talking about. You know, it's not like we're really protecting kids, like, you know, like, the kids know everything going on. You know, when we're saying some kids do this and it bothers me, we're doing it to be more respectful, and also because we don't think the other kid might be able to receive it. But the reality is we all kind of know what we're all talking about, you know? So it's all how you set up the structure in the community. If your community is strong and you teach into this is a life skill, even as adults, right? I get defensive very easily in my personal life, like with my husband, right? I mean, I don't know, these are like skills that I would benefit from still. Like, we just, growing up, no one really teaches us this stuff. So we have this opportunity in school to like model, like, you're gonna hurt people's feelings, or you're gonna offend people. Like, that's just life, like, we're humans, you know? What do you do when that happens? How do you own it? How do you know, all of that's just part of this. But you gotta do what feels comfortable for you and what feels good for your community. Yeah.
I just want to add on to that. I think there's a real thing about people having discourse like as adults, being able to like be sensitive to be kind to people, be sensitive to people that don't look like you, but also being able to talk about things that are hard and giving critical feedback.
Good afternoon, Kimball Cougars. We are going to try one more time to give you our final afternoon, normally morning, announcement for Black History Month. We're going to share some of our final announcements right now. So whatever you're doing, if you could freeze and turn your attention to these fantastic 2nd and 4th graders, that would be wonderful.
We know that Black history. We know that the history of Black people has not been uplifted or recognized accurately in our school across the U.S., we also know that Black History is an American history. So during the month of February, communities across the United States take special time to honor and celebrate Black history and pivotal Black figures. John H. Johnson, a student who became a publisher, created magazines like Ebony to educate young readers about the Black culture and achievements. Bessie Coleman was the first African-American female pilot. Her courage inspired us to pursue education in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, and aviation.
Have a beautiful afternoon, Kimball Cougars, and we hope to see you tonight at our Lunar New Year celebration.
On that, anyone who wants to stay for the Lunar New Year celebration, it's catered, there'll be food. It's like a pretty famous thing that Kimball does. It was like even during COVID, everything was closed. This is the one thing that happened, so it's really something to behold. I would encourage anyone who can, if you want to stay, I can plug you right into helping to set up afterwards. We're pulling some stuff downstairs, and then we're gonna help set up, and it would be wonderful. So anyone can stay, just meet up with me at the end, and we'll go right into it.
A couple of us are also planning on staying in here for a little bit to start the candidate pool thing for SPFS for getting hired. So we'll be here for a little bit afterwards as well before then.
Alright, did you finish your thought?
I think I did.
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Yeah.
I just have a question about
Yeah,
that
of
meeting.
course.
Like, what were those letters that they were handing out at the end? Was it like they would write a letter to
Yeah,
someone
it
and
was
would
like-
hand it out at the meeting?
Yeah, they had like an appreciation box,
okay.
so they wrote out their appreciations before here. Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah. So basically, the tone I talked about it during. There was, the greeting, the norms, the mission statement, the breathing meditation activity. There was no check-in. The meeting focus was selected from the students. They had a bug and wish box. This is the one area I would have, I think we want to spend a little bit more time in, but it is first grade, but for stamina. But the student presents the problem. They choose if they want to problem solve it or they just want to talk about it. Then they call on people to ask them questions about their topic. And then the student got to choose a solution based on what was proposed, and then they role play it out, and then they close with the appreciation circle. So it's the same structure, but people customize each step based on what fits their classroom. All right, let's take a 15-minute break, and then we'll come back. So we'll say it's 2:16, 2:31.
I'm 15. Wait, oh right. Yeah, but where was that? Because I remember, was it at Happy Lemon? Because I want to change into Pilates clothing. Yeah. But I want to wear my dress. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. Yeah. Yeah. You would. And I'm scared that it's gonna fly in here, literally. Look at you guys with your front fidget.
No.
Those look so cool. Oh, you want the magic ones? Well, this is a happy bar.
No,
I got that at the Olympics party.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even go to it!
I was the only person. The only student.
That's
Well, I
okay.
was like,
Yeah, I'm not.
like, they were talking about it, but it was like, what? Chrissy basically forced me to go. She was like, you need to meet. Good for you. you because I don't like I know my second grade cloud and I know the sped team and outside that.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Alright, so I'm gonna upload it.
I know, we never like crossed out until the end of the day, and then like our class are literally like just running into each other. That's the only time I see.
Or when you're already walking your class up and then
Yeah.
I'm just like just going down to
Yes.
class.
Yep.
We leave at 7:55 from
Yes. Yes, that is right. And my teacher is very big on like we walk in honestly before the bus. She's like, "We're going. Let's go." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, my teachers were chill. Their room is like, oh, I don't want to go.
I made it to 20. My teacher is prompt. There it is.
I mean, my teacher shows up at 7:50, so we're fast. That would inject so much stress. It feels good. I don't really mind. It did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I was like, is she gonna be here?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have her location now. She always trips me out. She's like, I'll just give you my location.
Oh.
So that I'm just like in there.
But
Just, like,
does she have
like,
your
here,
location?
yeah, she's
Real
like,
vision thing then. Wow.
We're just like, this is it, like freshness.
Yeah.
That one's cute.
Nice.
Maybe, maybe not mine. Maybe an equal sign.
Sometimes. I mean, you spend a lot of time with this person, so like, there are things that we know about each other. So
Yeah.
like, no one else.
Where are you
knows
actually
this is
gonna
what's
go?
happening.
Literally.
You're in this circle. Don't.
I agree. And then I'm definitely not. Yeah, Matt said that second grade pod is a little more business.
You are all
Yeah,
good.
well then, here's, yeah, like,
You're all
it's,
good.
it's honestly a range.
So, dinner time.
Class.
Yes,
yes.
I got a question because I wasn't here, and I was talking with Alex, and she said to ask you guys because she thinks that the application process is not due until April and not by March 15th, but.
I thought it was
The-
March
It
15th.
is March
The
15th.
process of the actual application of like interviews and applying to positions is like until April, but the teacher
for us to get a
pool, the
is
pool
March
closes.
15th. Okay, so she wasn't for sure, she was like, she heard some April, but check with your classes, so I went to check with Charles, so March 15th.
Yes.
But it's just like the first step.
So yeah, so like when you on the pool, you're putting in your resume and all of that, your experience, and then your references, your like your reference contact information, all of that is the pool application that's due March 15th. But
And is that application, is that what, Peter sent in the email?
yes, that's the one that he sent in the email.
Is the second email, not just on both times, so.
We're trying to talk. We're like,
No. I don't know. But if you're worried about like if you're trying to get a reference from your principal and you're like, oh shoot, March 15th is so soon and I want to get a reference from my principal and that like is coming up. I don't think HR will contact your principal for the reference until you're actually applying for positions, which won't come out until after the pool closes. So yeah, does that make sense? Yeah.
Like it's gonna be fine.
But you're saying the resume.
Yeah, your resume, all like your application, like the pool application is the 15th, but school site application isn't until after because the budget. Budget meetings.
Find out
Thanks.
the like 10:30 that's shaking. Like
10:30.
hasn't like she's I did it a couple times. She's in the bottom left now. Honestly, like kind of first time. I need a coffee at 2 a.m.
This wasn't doing it.
She's like you
Cloud
okay.
Cafe.
Then it's not worth it. I look back. And so
I have
like
to be
I
out
know
as
she's
well.
I know she's seen me very
To be I asked the guy, and he's like, it's really
Really?
yeah.
My typical average is in 1 day. So this
And I was like,
What is it?
that's literally
I use my calculator off and then I take like a nap.
So I don't. But now
I'm kind of either way.
Yeah.
I'm teacher and sick my first year of experience.
Oh, when I have to.
Me too. You're being brave. I'm being brave. We're being
Yeah.
But
It's
I went asthma. That's so late.
like the wall.
mine starts at 8. And then she wants to go out like and have at least I'm not real. I'm not attending. I'm like I feel like a birthday party.
And she was also like, really?
Yeah.
So like,
I
she
don't know.
literally,
We got class last
like, she's doing everything for it.
I would
And
like
so
to
I'm
be in bed by
like,
10.
yeah,
She's
like,
gotta be
I
good
know.
enough.
She's so extroverted. And she's like pretty new. Her give me like, and I read it. And so like, I feel like.
Anyway, but it was terrible. It was raining. It was all wet. It was crowded. I get overstimulated. I'm gonna have to go. Yes, I don't think there's a single place worth waiting in line.
Me and Christina have different codes. My
So y'all, I'm holding the door for you.
Thank you very much.
For real, Donna.
Oh,
She's like, that's cool for 10 years.
Oh, great. I just had a conversation with Alice about like a very frustrating moment with my
It is so sweet.
like
You want
she's
to
great
do
at
that.
feedback. She's really no wishes, but we're like scheduling out a cycle tour and she's a hospital specialist. She takes like 5 days to reply to anything.
Wait, is the glitter coming out?
Yes.
Like from where? The inside of the guy. Like it's like coming out. So where is it coming out of? Is there a hole? No, it's like coming out. Like we
And then I was like, oh, I'll send you the same and give you the same.
I'm so confused.
And then I was like, okay, and like I was like, tell me more about what I need to do. And she was like, well, it's this and this, and you should write them down. I said, well, actually, this is a really bad time for us. Wait, I'm gonna do next. Well, and she was like, well, you need more of a time because all to you, and I don't think you need to push yourself more, and I'm gonna do this. And I was like, oh, I'll give you. I don't have capacity.
Star Wars encyclopedias and all this stuff. They get really into it.
Oh, that's so cool. No. So, and then how will this fit? I don't know
And so, like, I met her joy, and she was just like,
yeah, well, my friend like, he's like, but he's getting it. And I'm like, we can't afford it, you know.
and like,
We can barely afford it. We can barely afford ourselves. We can afford a pen. You have to just buy pens for a meeting. Yeah. And mine are like, I guess so big.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. She didn't understand at all that I'm thinking of hamsters because you are trapped. Yeah, and hamsters, I feel like you should yeah, I'm thinking of a hamster. You don't change the like hour and after 2 hours.
Yes,
Change the glitter. They pay so much. Because all they do is
give the email, write an email, say you want these dates, and I'll say she can't do them
high maintenance for pet. Like a dog or a cat, they're high maintenance, but like
Yeah. Is it good? You're with yeah, she's really cool. She is, yeah, she's great. She seems like a powerhouse. Lots of energy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're two different people.
I feel like squirrels need to be
Very different.
Like we're in the same class, so we kind of got be in the same party.
Yeah.
Different parts of your life. Yeah.
That was Thursday was my influence. And she's making this
Do you have to do that?
informal.
She's giving you.
Okay,
Okay.
It's like I can.
They're all Japanese because Japanese has very, 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 very like different pet people have river otters as pets in Japan.
Like Disney.
And they'll swim like they'll stay in a pond. That's like not
Like you're trying to do CHR and she doesn't do it. I completely understand. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, I mean, of course. I mean, you met Jones.
It's all
Personalities are like that. Our big thing, there's always something, right? Our big thing is we're working on first jumping in or me not jumping in. I noticed that the more we do that, it's just lets me know. And it's like, honestly, really
Oh my god, I love critters. Wait, this Ricky? Oh my god.
You get to have that. Is she giving you space to like do lessons or is she
How long did you take lessons?
Just wait a minute.
Well, yeah, I do have to do like pop, like she's not
It's a big range of so many mornings. Kids come in like, oh, we're gonna do maybe math today. We talked about our feelings for 3 hours.
That's
Because I didn't really fully comprehend.
Do you guys communicate pretty well?
So much time that we're like in the summer. So in my head, every time I talk to them, I would spend the summer like house training.
Oh, that's a good mentor. Does she think that?
That just means on its own. It's like everything. And it's so stressful because like I don't know. But I was talking to Alex about it, and she was like, I got it done my first year teaching. Like, kept her from not staying at work.
Really? Yeah.
I think it's working out well.
Oh my god.
Good. I mean, I'm glad to hear it because I think like
I'm glad that
I feel lucky, but like I don't know what I would do if I had a mentor that like I could just like vibe with. So I wouldn't want to come into work. I would be more afraid to like tell them and stuff. Also, just the fact that like yourself,
I'm probably
like
a
it's
little
old classroom too. That's gonna change your whole teaching style. Yeah. Have you taught without me there a few times?
A few times, yeah.
Days at a time, like multiple days at a time.
It might. I might move out next year.
Nice.
It was good. Like
Dude, yeah.
Oh my god.
They're like extra powerful dude.
I want to live alone.
I walk it's just pinning out, so gross.
Yeah, it's like hard to just together like
But also, do you enjoy not having that presence in the room? Like, wasn't it I need it really relaxing because I feel like I can be myself. And I don't like periodically look at Jones to make sure I'm not ruining a child's life. You know?
It is like when she's not there.
And it makes me like feel good. I feel like I have a taste for like next year. Like, yeah, the back end is so hard because you don't have like a couple of years or something. But it's like it's gonna be crazy next year. It's gonna be very you. Yeah.
And then sophomore year.
Okay, we're gonna come back together.
Yeah. Nice job.
Oh my
Next
god,
week's
we're
gonna be
all
way
Yeah, as bad as I thought. I'm just curious.
Not your choice.
Maybe you would say something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to I want a dog so bad. I'm literally gonna replace Margot with a dog. I've literally been thinking about cats ever since you showed me the kid. Wednesday. Wednesday. Oh, he's a mastiff. Ooh, a mastiff. That's too big for my Sorry about that. I think it's funny how much of education runs on the programs that happen with
Employee self-service.
Daily, oh my god.
All right, so we're gonna watch another example, and this is going to be, this is a 4th grade classroom from Oakland, California. This is where this meeting takes place. This is actually one of my old teacher. She's one of my really good friends. We taught next door to each other. So there's a lot of teacher voice because she was revoicing a lot to make sure that the camera captured the meeting. So this is as an FYI. But different format and structure, but this is also, but it's also a good one to watch. It's a problem-solving meeting, and the topic is being set by the teacher, not the students. Okay. So let's watch this, and then we'll debrief. And this one I will make louder because it's lower volume, and it's but it's also captioned.
About bullying. We've been talking about it throughout the whole year. And we've been having discussions, we having our ups and downs, talking about what's going on in our classroom, what's making us feel good, what's making us feel bad. And we know that we're a family. And sometimes in our families, right, just like in our real family, sometimes there's arguments, sometimes there's disagreements, sometimes we don't always get along, right? That's fine. But I've been noticing that some people lately have been a little bit more being excluded, like we have several new students, and some people are using, making fun of people a little bit, and not thinking like, oh, it might hurt them or just whatever, like just saying some little extra comments that they're saying in fun, but it might be hurtful. I want us to have a discussion just about what's going on in our community, in our classroom community, and how is it making you feel? So who would like to start and just discussing, having a conversation about what's going on in our classroom and what's going on with bullying or making fun? And we also know that bullying also means excluding people. So we don't really fight in this school. Like fist fight and punch or just whatever. We don't have that issue, but we have had issues with people making fun. And we also have issues with people being excluded, like they're not able to work in a group. That hurts too. So Richard, you want to start?
My hope is that we got things today, so we got books. And my down is that Giovanni sometimes makes fun of me.
Giovanni.
And how does that make you feel when somebody's making fun of you?
I feel sad because I feel like they don't like me.
Does anybody else want to build on that? Like, has anybody else want to talk about an experience where they're being made fun of? I want to ask this, because this is important. I feel like this comes up too. Did it make you cry? Like, were you crying in front of him? Okay, so you don't necessarily always cry, right? So he said he holds it in and he cries at home. I can definitely relate to that. I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
A lot of people can relate to that.
Because it hurts. We're just discussing it. So, Daejeon.
I know Mr. Will, years ago, I was being a good one to somebody, but I didn't realize times when I know that my feelings being hurt, I just take it out on others.
Okay. So Davion just said, even a few minutes ago, he was being a bully. Sometimes we don't even know it, right? Sometimes we don't even realize, like, oh, wow, that could hurt somebody's feelings, right? And so he said he's taking his anger out on somebody else. It still hurts. So we already have people that are tearing up, and it's not because somebody's bullying them right now, but it still hurts. If I think about times when I got bullied, or somebody made it, especially when I got excluded from something, it still hurts. And I really appreciate Davion right now admitting that he was bullied, even though he wasn't hitting. What are some other experiences that you guys had? Jalen?
I've been really in a school and sometimes I just cry at home
Okay, so you felt like that you've been bullied to the point where you don't even want to come to school anymore? So what are those experiences? What happened? And so we could fix it. We want to work as a community. We don't want anybody to feel like that.
Some people, it just helps, especially for like their help you try to keep you focused and don't worry.
Okay, so having a good support system, right? So Jalen's saying, yeah, there's been times where he felt bad, but he has other people that go up to him. How many people in here know that they've supported someone before? You notice that they're having a bad day or that they were hurt, and you actually tried to support them. Okay? Let's talk about some more feelings with bullying and how we can support each other.
So, I know I've been bullied for a long time. Yeah, I take my anger out on other people too. When I get mad, I start talking about I start talking about other people.
Okay, so Darion said when he gets mad, he knows he takes it out on other people, and so he does that. And so there's this expression called hurt people hurt people. So people that are hurt, they end up hurting other people, right? Most of the time when people are bullying, it's because they're hurting inside, right? Maybe somebody bullied them, or maybe there's something going on in their life that it's hard for them to deal with, right? Let's talk about what are we going to do as a community to look out for one another, because we're going to have times where we make mistakes, but how can we support each other? What are some things that we can do? Darian, go ahead. So actually maybe doing something about somebody bullying, like, so not supporting their bullying. Yes? Okay, what else can we do? Gustavo.
We can act like a community and help each other when someone's getting bullied and maybe they try somebody, like a grown-up.
Yeah, so if you see somebody, not just ignoring it, not just saying, oh, not my problem, tell somebody. And Gustavo said, tell an adult. Yes, Belinda.
When I had my brother bully me, I didn't because something coming up to my head and I could almost say, hey, why is bullying you? I mean, I'm like, remember?
Okay, and it hurt you? And it didn't happen right now, and she's still hurt. And she's still hurt by it. It's not a laughing matter, it's something serious. It impacts people. You guys can read the news, you guys can see news articles just about bullying and how much it hurts. I don't want to be part of that, and I don't want you to be part of that. What else can we do to make sure people are not feeling like that? So we can tell a joke. Don't let the bully do it. Brianna. I love the fact that you said that, right? I love the fact that she said that because sometimes we're gonna make mistakes, right? Yes? But say something, don't just ignore and be like, oh well, right? We say something about it, yes? Okay, Janet.
You can talk to them about and say how are you doing?
Talk about people's feelings, yes? Right? Ask them instead of just ignoring them. And we're a community, but sometimes we stick with our friends, right? We stick with people that I know, that you know, right? And I'm always trying to push you guys, and you guys have been doing a really good job with working with other people, yes? Working with other people, but always push yourself out of the comfort zone. Maybe it's somebody that you don't always work with. Talk with them. Maybe it's somebody that you don't always play basketball with. Ask them if they want to join. Maybe it's somebody that you don't always talk to, right? Yes.
I think when see somebody being bullied, see, you shouldn't be doing that. That instead of you hurt them too, but you're hurting yourself even more.
I love the fact that you said, like, standing up to the bully. Saying it's wrong. Tell them it's wrong. Don't be a bystander. Bystander is just somebody walking by and just ignoring it and just acting like they don't see it. We can say something. So I want to stop here, and I just want to give a second for people to get up. And if you want to apologize to someone, or you want to look out for someone, and you want to talk to someone that you don't normally talk to and ask about the day, I want you to do that. So take this time, take the next 2 minutes. Everybody stand up. I already hear people saying sorry. Talk to people.
Okay, so turn and talk. Turn and talk, thoughts and all that around this.
Those kids are really emotional.
You want to be told?
It sounds like she spends all year really cultivating and honest. But it's still ready to yeah, which is I want to what? If you guys get through, like if everyone in the circle gets we don't even get through
Like, because my record is 2:13 on the best days I've ever had. Or it's like, no, I'm so sorry, I have it.
I like it. She's like, there's no one to like speaking a moment. I feel like a lot of the time when I'm trying to ease, they like have some idea of what they're gonna say, and like that. I feel like they almost like make it like narrow and like kind of stick too much with what they want it to look like, rather than like actually stress like what I don't know. I thought that she did a good job of like kind of focusing and also saying things to kind of validate expectations of like, yeah, like everyone makes mistakes, like this is what we can do afterwards, and like it got more of a conversation of like yeah. I feel like it's really like year by year. I didn't share and then like we all felt that.
Yeah.
Right. I felt that. Yeah.
I'd like to try some circles.
Yeah.
Next year, my own class.
Yeah. No, but it's
Yeah. Start
what do
from
you
the
think?
beginning.
Yeah, like it's okay to
Yeah. We have a couple of kids. All it takes is
and I like this. No, I'm doing all the time. I do it too. At least you feel like last Friday and Friday. Dude, I literally have to do it every time I'm teaching. I'm just like doing that. Like I'm teaching and I just have it.
Maybe we have to build from the beginning. Because part of
So I
it,
don't know if that was like a secret
kids know we can't, and we're not
like
going back.
No, actually, it's not.
Talk to parents, he says he's scared, so I'm talking to parents. Well, it's kind of, well, there is a definite separation. Back at it.
47 pounds is like a slight.
Not that I would ever hit
I would love it.
He knows.
Yeah.
Fear. Yeah. He knows he's got nothing he's really scared of.
Like, I 20, I'm like, what do I do with it? Like, oh, I can't think of anything. Like, it's not. No, I think if I had a little dog, I'd do it.
Yeah, my little dogs, I mean, they're at my mom's house, but they definitely are very happy. They be like trying to get us to carry them around everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I like a big.
Because little puppies.
Because, like, let's see, no, I didn't know when this one is dead. Then he's 100 pounds. He's a big boy. And he's a big boy.
This is my baby buddy. He's like 9 pounds.
My notification is taken away.
He's like 9 pounds. Yes, yes, he looks just like him. Oh, I get to see him this weekend. I'm gonna tell my parents that I get to see my puppy.
It's taking a long time to take them that way. Other, like, it's just like they got sort of maybe that 20 hours. But I do love red hair. I don't know. I feel like all those are caught up or like musicals. I know you're trying to say
I love how poor quality the pictures are.
It was a FaceTime, so it was a screenshot of a FaceTime.
Like he was FaceTiming those dogs, I love that she got a little bit. And I feel like they need
Bunny
I
bears
feel like,
look.
yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm
trying to do a picture of him and his family. My mom has a
You
whole
showed me a couple of pictures.
And now I'm like, my name was yeah. And then it's a first time.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That is
You think, but a lot of people are embarrassed by that, I feel like. Yeah, they're getting the attention that they obviously want. We all
But you
want
get
that.
telling them like they don't get, you know, there's communication.
No, I mean, these are both my dogs. And he's in his
family.
But I don't want to go to
Like, I could never harm her. Anything that I dislike is actually a systemic problem.
Oh yeah, oh wait, I think I just I took it back. You like but I did. I was that this. I think I remember. Yeah, like this is right. Yeah, that was so bad. That's when you guys were like, why? What do you think? Not letting me take it over. Like I hear a lot of it.
Yeah.
Alright, let's come back to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Wonderful. So what stuff came up in your discussions, like questions, wonderings, that we can all talk about together? What are some things? Who wants to get us started?
Well, can I ask if
Of
your
course.
friend in Oakland, I take it that they had a routine
Yeah.
of circles, and this was done later in the school year as opposed to
Definitely, yeah.
sometime in September. Yeah.
This is what we're like what I was sharing with the table. This is what I mean by we're trying to deepen meetings. If you only do the would you rathers, then you'll never get to this. This is what I mean, like we start with the lighter stuff and then we slowly start deepening it. But you can't, it's not just meetings, it's you. It's classroom management, it's your relationships, the tone you set in the class, the community, like there's all that is at play. So the fact that there's students, that there's a student that can say, I go home and cry, When that's beyond vulnerable, there's another student that's crying in the meeting, even though nothing's being said about her, that's another vulnerability. And then there's students saying, I have been a bully. And no one's laughing, making faces. That tells you how strong that community is. But of course, it never started like that on day one. It's everything we talked about in this class since the summer is all that work. And that's why classroom management is tricky, because it kind of feels abstract. Like, I try to give you very concrete strategies, but it's still pretty like abstract in many ways, because you see that and you're like, how literally do you get there, right? But it's literally, it's all those steps every day. It's, we are family. It's saying, you're gonna make mistakes again. What are we gonna do when we make those mistakes? It's all that language is really part of it. What else? Yeah.
So I just noticed between the meetings that I couldn't quite tell in the second one, but it seems like the teachers were sitting back.
Just because she didn't want to be on video. That was it. But normally she'll be more in it.
What I've seen is I see a lot of teachers sitting in the circle.
They definitely should be
as
in the
equals.
circle. Yeah,
Not
definitely.
on a chair, if possible. Right?
No, chair is totally fine. Don't worry about it. You mean like everyone does that?
What I'm wondering is if I just noticed like it seemed that the adults were sitting back. And letting the kids be the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the teacher is in the circle too.
Okay.
So the first meeting, I think she was in the circle, but maybe the way it looked with the tables and she was more in it. The second meeting, she was a little bit awkward. She just didn't want to be on camera. Like, just, I don't want my on video like that. Nothing personal. But yeah, you all circle, but you all don't have to sit on the floor. Like, it's okay if you as a teacher, like, sit on a chair and all the kids on the floor. Like, it doesn't matter. I had back surgery. I couldn't sit on the floor, And also, I taught 6th grade and they're not all sitting on the floor. So yeah, and even kindergarten, some kids, it's hard to sit on the floor the whole time. So it's okay. It doesn't matter how you come in the circle sitting, you just all want to do a circle. The only thing I would say is do not do standing circles, because they are not going to be able to stand for that long and like really focus. They're going to, if they're going to start moving their bodies, it's going to get more antsy. So you want to be sitting in some form. Yeah. What else? Yes.
I kind of had like two noticings, but then also an personal opinion. The first one was the fact that I noticed one student saying there's another student who bullies them, and then there were kids who were like, and I was just wondering, like, she didn't say anything about that or address that. Is that like a place where you kind of hold them aside and do like a follow up, or how do you?
Definitely, yeah. I wouldn't it's not always, most of the time you're not gonna be like, this person said this, now we're gonna talk about you, It's not really that space for that. So yeah, it's more individually talking to students. But there's obviously been like pretty much a lot of work already being done that student, if those students are saying it, they've been probably talking to the teacher a lot about their actions. Like that they're finally able to like admit it, or own it, I guess I should say. Yeah. And the other thing is, the table brought up, which is a really good point. This is what teachers tell me, like, oh, I'm not a counselor. It's not like I shouldn't be doing classroom meetings. And I really want to. Well, we're definitely not technically like certified as counselors, but we kind of are like counselors, right? Like we're so many things in the classroom. Your job is not to solve their problems. Your job is to create and hold the space for kids to talk. They are very aware of how to navigate that. And your job is to jump in, facilitate, if you think anyone's being rude, disruptive, like all that stuff. But you're not the counselor. And if anything starts feeling like mental health impacted, you can always invite a counselor into the meeting to be part of the classroom meeting. But you can also pull students aside that you should probably go talk to so-and-so. This would be a good idea, So that's not our job. Like, we're not therapists, but that's not what the meeting is technically about. There's just a lot of feelings and emotions. if kids are going home and crying, that kid who said it first, he probably always thought he's the only kid that goes home and cries. Because kids don't realize that, oh, others also experience this. The teacher saying, I know what that feels like, and everyone else that they know what that feels like here. Like, that's powerful. Like, oh, the teacher, like, they're kids, like, they don't see all those layers. So, and again, that girl that was crying, that wasn't even directly impacted. We expect the kids to start to academically engage and do work, but if they're carrying all this emotional weight that they're impacted by school, it's really hard. So I've always found when I do meetings and a lot comes out, academic engagement soars. They're so much more present because they finally got a chance to get it out.
Yeah, and then my question was, is there a point where these meetings can be student-led?
Yeah, yes, and okay, so this is like one of my really closest friends. She just likes to talk a lot. She talks a lot. So yeah, she just like has like strong voice, strong personality, and she's like, you know, so amazing as an educator. But yeah, the goal is very, very student-led. Remember, she brought up the topic, and it just depends. Like she's trying to facilitate and get them somewhere. So you might have more voice in some meetings, but the goal is by January, it's really becomes problem-solving, student-led. Yeah. Did you have a question?
Share what it was like. That was a really cool thing.
Oh, yeah.
Your classroom.
Oh, I was sharing over here when I was in school or high school or even the point I was a teacher. At some point we had like completely student-led meetings where we teachers were not in the class, but we would be like just in the surrounding, and then they would talk about the issues they have. Some of the issues included we, the teachers, and then the last like 5 minutes we'll come back in, and then they will have all these stuff. So we wouldn't tell who said what about me or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it would just be like, oh, this teacher, you know, this teacher teaches very fast, so sometimes we don't understand whatever is going on. And then it was mostly like issues like within the class, and sometimes they will solve the problems by themselves, and then you just get it when it's like an issue that is beyond them or involves like another party. So that's why.
I love that. That's so great. So great. Right? I mean, I would encourage that, definitely. But that sounds like it was like a build, like a school culture.
Yeah, it was, and then it's more like in the high school bit.
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
in the elementary years, we used to do that. But then it was like, not like very complex problems sometimes.
Sure.
It will be like immediate problems that you get. You know, someone is screaming or
Yeah.
someone's yelling, someone taking
Yes.
a pen, a pencil. So we
Definitely.
started learning and solving such problems.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't always have to get so deep too, right? They're not always gonna be like this. Other thoughts, wonderings, questions? I did want to also just note how the meeting ended. So the students were given a chance to go find someone, you can apologize or just check in. That's a good, nice way to close. You can also do an apology of action where you go around the room and you can apologize to anyone you want based on what was said. The student doesn't have to accept the apology if they are not ready, but you can, it gives you a place to like close off something, like if you heard something and you didn't realize that the impact that maybe you had, that's another way to end a meeting like this. That could be pretty powerful. Anything else on your minds about that video? Okay, we're gonna watch a last video on a much on a happier note. And this is another classroom meeting. This is actually an LTEP teacher candidate, so they're just like you, student teaching right now. But they did, this is a little more like a compliment circle, but I really think it's a good example, like to bring back, like we might not all be ready for this, but what's the step before this? And I thought it was a really nice example. So we'll do one more example. And it's also later, so we'll be nice.
Alright, so welcome to Community Morning Circle, everyone. Today, what I want to do is something a little bit different. I want to reintroduce a talk piece, alright? So we talked about it in the first early weeks. We used the Tigger as our talk piece before. Does anyone remember the purpose of a talk piece?
Like, so that if you have it, you talk. If you don't have it, you can't talk.
Yeah, that's right. And like the reason why I want to do this is recently I've been seeing a lot in community circle, people talking over each other, and like this slows us down by a lot. And it's also very disrespectful. Like one of our things that you guys wanted from the charter was respect. And one of the best ways to show respect is listening. So I'll walk over the procedure again. So like Palmer said, if you have it, you can talk. And then you can pass it to someone. Like let's say someone has a question, all right? You pass it underhand. Don't go over like this. And this is my personal plushie, all right? It's very important to me, so treat it with care. You can squeeze it a little bit, you can rub it, but like don't pull it, okay? This is a Puchita, okay? Puchita. So that's his name. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Does anyone have any questions about this routine? Yeah, come on. It's from Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, great. Well, oh yeah, another thing. So I'm willing, because I trust you guys, I'm willing to use this, and then I'll take it home and wash it every week. So it's regular.
They're worried about like everyone.
We're not gonna just keep it in the classroom and have the germs build up in here. Alright, Jack?
This is basically the last report.
Oh yeah, I'll explain that later, Jack. Alright, that's fine. Last question?
This may be a little bit silly question, but why does it look like a sausage with a chainsaw on its head?
Yeah, well, this is what it looks like in the show, so it's just how it is. Alright, so now that we got the procedure, we'll time to demonstrate it, right? So we're gonna do a compliment circle, as I said, but from what I heard last time, you guys want to compliment yourselves, which is always good. So I'm going to introduce an aha moment. So in addition to giving someone a compliment and asking for a compliment, you get to do an aha moment. Okay, you get to choose to do an aha moment, which is basically something you're proud of that you did last week. Okay? Is everyone good with that? Any questions? All right then. Who would like to start? Yes, you can pass. You can always pass. Okay. And then you just pass this. And Dahmer, you have a question?
No.
Oh, you want to start? Okay.
So I'm gonna give a compliment to Remy. Because he made a really great drawing this morning, and I just thought it was really good.
Awesome. Okay, pass it on to Ryan.
I want to pass.
Alright, who wants to compliment Dan?
Real life videotape.
They literally can.
I would like to give a compliment to Remy. He's really good at art.
I want to get a compliment.
These kids are asking to get. Yeah. And the hands are going up. Yeah.
Really smart, kind, I would like to have an aha moment, so I just did Richard. And this has been this weekend, so. I'd like to give a compliment. I'd like to give a compliment to Chi, because the compliment is you always try your best to become best in your school, probably, even though I've never seen you, but just I assume that. Really, really kind and giving us support and compliments. I want to leave that compliment.
I met with your parents, and they had a lot of nice things to say about you. And we also had a lot of nice things to say about you. And I think your parents really liked us, and we like what you're doing. Alright, I would like to give a comment to the whole class. So last week I came here on a unusual day on Wednesday, and you guys had this the festival, and I saw everyone was having fun and on task. And I like that. I like when you guys have fun and on task. So.
I like to have an aha moment. Yes, so this Saturday I let it go in my soccer game.
Alright, let's give Enzo a comment.
Well, I like how you work really hard. I like how also you're really nice to the kids too. And Billy's are really, really, really passionate of like stuff. So I don't know what to say for that stuff, but I know you're really, really kind and really nice.
I mean, she's a student we all need in our class, right? She's raising her hand for everyone, but there's always that one student.
Yesterday, I was on a walk and I climbed up a really tall flight of stairs without stopping once.
That was your aha moment. This is why I love aha moments, because you learn like fun facts that you wouldn't know maybe. So cute.
Kevin being super tough and hard-boiled about this morning's Welcome to the Jungle song.
Oh, alright. Rowan would like a compliment. Yes, I'm doing
Nice, smart, and fast, and knows about it.
Yeah, I'll stop there. It's so that was like they do a 9-minute meeting. So doesn't that feel so good? Okay, so this is why doing this is also very important. And if kids are happy, if they're feeling noticed, acknowledged, that also helps with community and academics and all of that. Questions on the compliment or circle or anything there? Yes.
I'm trying to get better at this, and it is like being okay with kids that are like having fun. I know that's a terrible thing to say out loud, but it's like sometimes you're like, you need to be taking this seriously.
Right. Yeah.
You need to be sitting still, and that's how I was like raised.
Of course.
And I think like this year I've been really trying to be in my meetings and like squircles.
Yeah.
And like be like, be square me. I know you're listening. I just need to trust you. And I like that this teacher does a really great job of just letting the kids be kids.
Yeah, because they are engaged.
Yeah.
But they're laughing, and they should. It should be fun. Yeah, and obviously there's a very strong mentor here that really helps set this up, right? Yeah. So yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's a great point. It's okay to have joy. Where the last meeting we wouldn't want that.
Yes.
So it just depends. Yeah.
Not super specifically about this video, but how would you do like a compliment circle, or just a lot of, I guess, these with students who either like are still learning to speak English or like just aren't very verbal, where like maybe they can understand a lot of what's happening.
Yeah.
And obviously communicate in a language that's happening, but not a language that the teacher or classmates would understand.
Well, I would definitely allow them to communicate in their home language, and if there's no one that can translate that, just have them sit next to you, and like maybe you have a Google Translator. It's also, I don't know, I think it's okay for them just to say in their home language and we keep moving. If they're not, if that's, they should be able to communicate any way they want. They can also write it down beforehand. You can also prompt the students that are more nonverbal. If they want to write out their compliment or whatever they want to say before the meeting, they can also choose a buddy that they sit by who reads it for them, or you can read it, or they can even show it. All those things matter. But what you said is really true. When you're in the circle, even if you're passing, you're still actively participating because you're part of it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Yes.
I feel like you can also like print out visuals of like some common
Perfect.
elements.
Yeah.
It might not be like super unique, but they
Yeah.
have something.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Great point. All right. I think I'm feeling like we could just end with the closing circle of our own closing circle. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Unless you really want to stay till 4 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I pitched it earlier, a little too much on, yeah, sure, it'd be nice to help, but also there's going to be a arts and crafts happy hour down the hall with little things. So if that kind of what brings you joy, that's also an option.
Nice incentive.
Yep.
Happy hour. Alcohol?
So our closing circle is gonna be, we're gonna do an up or and down. Well, you can do up or down. So I want you to think about what's an up you're having about the quarter, the program, it could be about the placement, whatever's going on. Is there, and what's a down you might be having about the program, the quarter, the placement, whatever. You can share an up and a down, or you can choose to only share an up or a down. That's up to you. So just think about that as you gather in a circle.
Can you talk to Alice about that? My bum was really good. That's my I don't know what I'm. Okay, you just hope. Yes. I'm right with Craig. My partner lift your body.
I don't know how to. To what? Oh.